Hey, Crystal, I think we're on. So,
It's all about the hair, Francis. It's all about the hair.
we got to blare the music for a little bit. This will work fine.
Okay.
All right, what's up, guys? Self-Made episode 3 with the amazing Crystal Lowery, and just some background information on Crystal, why it's very important that everyone listen to her. She literally has every certification on the planet when it comes to fitness. Wait, Crystal, do you want to say what's up to everyone real quick?
Hey, everybody.
Okay, so Crystal is an IFBB Pro Figure Competitor, and she started competing when she was 31 years old. She's also a certified ACE personal trainer, NASN Master Sports Nutritionist, Jillian Michaels BODYSHRED Instructor, and a Team Isagenix Athlete Ambassador. And what's really cool about Crystal is that she worked a corporate job right after college until she started her own fitness business called Fitness Desires, which I think is really cool. Crystal, did you want to say something real quick before we kick off this interview?
Thanks for having me on, Francis. That's awesome. And I'm just really excited to be doing this interview with you. First of all, thank you for asking me. Second of all, it's just an honor. It's an honor to be able to share and contribute my journey, because that's what it is. It's my journey. We're going to talk today about my journey, and some people will resonate with that, and they're in the process of embarking on their own journey. So if it inspires and then I'm happy to contribute and do that and share the tips and, the things that I've learned in my journey.
Yeah, and you're so welcome. And what I have to say is I feel like a lot of people look at you and are like, oh my gosh, look at Crystal. She is just doing what she loves on a day-to-day basis. And I mean, all your clients, I've heard nothing but first-class testimonials on your end. So what would you say really inspired you to become your own entrepreneur, your own boss in the fitness industry?
Well, thank you so much for that compliment. To the core of my being, Francis, and, health and fitness is just to my core. I knew as a very young girl that I, loved exercise, nature, nutrition. I was very fortunate. I'm the firstborn in my family, and my mom made my baby food. She was that particular. So I had a really great start in that, and through sports and, going through high school and then college and, embarking on the real world to get jobs, I felt like a real job, going in and punching a time clock pulled me away from my passion. And it wasn't until much later in my 30s that I realized how I could turn my passion into my own business outside of the corporate world, which I know that we might talk a little bit about here.
Yeah, so could you take me through, what did you go through right after you graduated high school? What were the differences in what you wanted to achieve then and what you want to achieve now? And just take me through the process of your teens, being in your teens.
Yeah, on a linear timeline, it's funny to go back in that and look, but like I just was talking about is I played sports, every sport. I loved all sports. And the truth be told is if I could have been a professional athlete right out of high school and get paid to do what I love, that's what I would have loved to do. And that's what I want to do now, just pay me to go play sports. That's really, to the core of my being.
Yeah.
But what I do is better than that, because I design my own business with my core values in mind to be able to contribute to others. And what I mean specifically about that is that I saw the value of exercise in people's lives for their health and fitness. And I saw how foods tied in, because I was educated very young and have continued to educate myself. And then I also understood that there was a mindset there. And so for me, I was really heartbroken when I couldn't play sports anymore. The reality hit when I was in college, and I wanted to play sports, but that was not available to me. I was paying for my own school, and I was working a job. So I was waiting tables, I was still going to the gym, and I was paying for my own school. And so it wasn't an option for me to go play sports anymore, because that was not going to make me money. I had to make money to, pay for my basic needs, to pay for my education, and go out in the world, and we're going to use air quotations, and get a real job. And it always bothered me. It was never really sat well with my soul. And, you know, that's that journey. So I just continued to work out because it allowed me to stay very grounded, and it helped my mind. I truly believe that our physiology and everything is connected. So the more I had movement in my life, though it wasn't in the form of sports, like a team sport, like I was used to playing, I was in the driver's seat. I went to the gym and worked out, not for aesthetics. It was because it made me feel better.
Okay. Hold on. Someone's calling my phone. I should have turned it off. Crystal, are you there?
I'm here, Francis. I took a water break.
Hold on. So now I got to pull this page back up. My chat. I don't know why my Google Hangout just disappeared.
I'm still here.
Do you see me?
Yes.
Wow, this is so weird.
Do you see me?
I don't. My screen just went blank.
Look for a button. You can keep talking, and then you can look for buttons if you want. I'll keep the interview going and look and see if you can pull up the picture. But I can see you, and you can hear me.
Okay. Well, I completely understood what you just said. I love how you said that fitness was a daily thing for you and that you went through it on a day-to-day basis. What would you say? What inspired you to start competing on your own?
Yes, that's a great question because there's a gap in the conversation here. So when I was doing team sports, and then I started going into weight training, I asked my dad to teach me about lifting weights when I was about 16. I was still playing team sports at that time. About 18, 19 is, I'm in college, I'm taking weight training classes, introduction to bodybuilding. And what's really funny is those classes, Francis, were the coach, the football coach was the instructor for the PE class, and the entire football team was in the weight room, and there was myself and one other female, okay? And I was learning to lift weights with the football team, and it was awesome because I didn't know any different, so I was just learning the instruction. But what happened there is that created the foundation for my lifting weights. And I saw these fitness competitions on TV, and to be very specific, those were the Fitness America pageants, the FAP, and a lot of people in our industry compete in that one. What I saw on television were these extremely athletic women who were literally doing tumbling and flipping on stage because it was a fitness competition. And then they were coming out in bikinis and they were displaying all of their hard-earned efforts on a stage. And they were, it just looked beautiful to me. It was not bodybuilding, it was fitness. Now, I did not go into fitness. I kind of put that dream on hold and I worked in the real world. I worked in a real job and I still worked out, but I didn't even know where to start competing. So many people, if someone's watching this and they think, someday I'd like to compete, that's where I was. I wanted to compete. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to find a coach. And so I put that dream on hold for many years, to be more specific, about 12 years or more. Yeah. And then I got a coach and I said, I want to do my first competition. And that coach was some gym owners that I started working at their gym after I quit my corporate job. So the timeline is I quit my corporate job
at
30.
Okay.
And started working as a personal trainer. And I did my first competition right after that. So I had instruction to do my first competition, and I stepped on stage for the first time in 2006. So it's been almost a decade.
Okay, so 31, that's when, so you sort of walked away from your corporate job. Would you say that was scary and sort of letting go of that guaranteed income and going to be a personal trainer and working towards your show where you have to produce and you have to sell packages through your own network and sell that service? What was that like? Did you succeed in that right away?
I was scared to death. Here's what it feels like if I can express it through a video camera. I was working this job that was a very well-paid job. I had, a corporate job. I had benefits. I was in management. I had stock options. I had just had a performance evaluation, which I was, evaluated very highly. I had just received a raise, a bonus, and, all these things. And I literally told my manager, thank you so much. I appreciate all of this, but I'm giving you my notice. And his jaw dropped. And I had already been personal training some people on the side for about 6 months to really get a feel for it. I didn't know what I was doing as far as how I was going to build this business, but I started to get clients through someone else who was in the industry who was on her way out. She was having a family. She was pregnant. She no longer wanted to train clients, and I was really stepping in, and we had worked out some numbers. There was like an 80-20 split, and I'm taking over training someone else's clients. And then word starts spreading that I'm training people, and people start coming. So I knew that I had to leave my corporate job and take that leap of faith. Now, this is prior to network marketing. This is prior to residual income. There's no guarantees. And they're in my core, I couldn't stay working at my job anymore. And the truth is Francis, when I was doing both of those jobs, I was working about 15 plus hours a day. And that moment that clicked for me when I was driving home one night, I was driving home with the emergency brake on in my car.
Okay.
And I realized I was so tired that I had to make a decision. I couldn't be getting up at 4 in the morning, training clients all morning, going to my job in the evening and working till midnight and trying to get up and do it all over again. So I did that for a quantified period of time, 8 months, and I took the leap of faith. And the truth is that the money didn't switch right over, right? It wasn't a pendulum swing. It was a pendulum swing the other way. I had to start really with that foundation with clients, start creating packages. I mean, for me, I was personal training clients for $25 an hour to start.
And that's pretty cheap, because I have a buddy who just started his own personal training business. He's charging $75 an hour.
Yes, and right now, I'm at a baseline of $100 an hour, take if they do packages and things, there's some flex there. But that just lets you know the hierarchy of how it's changed and where I started and where I was willing to, work with groups and whittle that money down even more. Yeah. And, for the experience.
Got it. And then how did you say that you just created your following and everyone coming to you through word of mouth and just providing tremendous value and experience through your service?
Yes, that's exactly it. It was all word of mouth. I didn't do any advertising at that point in time. We're talking 10 years ago. But I really started training people. I've been training people, off and on with jobs about 12 years, but I left Home Depot. That was my former corporate job in 2005 specifically. So we're actually now going into my 11th year, and I was already doing that training. So, I just really had to, see that trust and belief in myself, that I knew what I was doing. And then people started to come and people started to ask questions. And so I just trusted and believed in that and knew, and I didn't advertise at all. This is before social media. This is before I designed my first website with a web designer at the middle tail end of 2006. And that was a huge leap of faith at that point in time. That was me investing money to say, I want to have a platform that looks professional instead of people just hearing word of mouth, there's this trainer. So then I had a business card, which now we know now is almost obsolete. Business cards, people still have them, but we're more likely to hand our cell phone to someone and say, hey, could you find yourself on Facebook? And then I'm going to connect with you. I mean, this is more current. So a business card allowed me to give them my link to my website so they could read about me, see pictures, and understand who I was if it was someone that referred to me that they didn't know me personally. But all my clients that started were usually personal people that I knew, and then referrals. Got it.
And then so for personal training people, you saw success right away through the word of mouth and handing out the business cards. How did you go ahead and perform at shows? When you started at 31, did you start placing right away and just see immediate success because you've been working out all through your 20s? Or could you take me through that process?
Of course I can. Yeah. And thank you for asking. Well, the way I do things, it's not like I just do one project at a time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, hey, I'm building this business and, oh, this great idea. Why not compete too? And I say that with a little bit of laughter because that, it's like, oh, I'm building a business. Oh, now I'm going to transform this body to go compete, and I'm going to do it simultaneously. And each one of them independently is a lot of work. So to walk you through it. I created the foundation for the business, and the business was really starting to flow. The passion for competing was always there, but you could look at it twofold. You could look at it as that it's a hobby and I don't have time to do that because that's not producing me money. Or
Yes.
two, I'm going to do this because the accolades and the things and the journey that people are going to follow are going to be for marketing purposes for me to take my business to the next level. So it was twofold for me. It was both of those things. And when I stepped on stage for the first time, I had no clue what I was doing. And this is why I like to coach people through it. I had a physique that I had worked on for years. Remember, I had already been working out. So you can have an amazing physique and step on stage and not have any clue what you're doing. It's about presentation. I like to lay it out for people and say it's like a beauty pageant, but with muscles, right? So there's a grace and a stage presence that does not usually just come naturally to people. It comes with practice. If you watch, Miss USA, they've practiced walking on stage. So there's that piece that is incorporated in there. So first competition, no clue what I was doing. My body had changed through exercise and nutrition and following a strategic protocol in a way that I had never seen it change before. I stepped out there, did the best I could to present it, even though I really I wasn't polished yet in presenting myself on stage. There's very particular walk and particular posing. I did not place in my first show. I think that's a very important point to emphasize on this interview, Francis, for anybody who might want to do this or thinks that I woke up one day out of bed and it was just extremely successful. I did not place in the top 5. And I walked out of that show and I went to dinner with my friends and I ate pizza and I think I even drank a beer. I don't drink beer, but I think I had like a half a beer, like I was trying to celebrate. It didn't taste good. The pizza didn't taste good, but I was with friends and I won. I won in my heart and I won in all aspects of the game. And I was on cloud 9. I thought I won the show. And just to, in my own way, I had won the show. I had won because I had started a journey and I completed it. And it was something new and I won. I won the gold prize. I completed something. And so the journey from there was several shows that year because I clicked in my head and said, what do I have to learn to be a pro at this?
Yeah.
How do I go from being an amateur to a professional? If someone wants to be a millionaire, they want to go mentor with a millionaire, right? So how do I do that? I sought out mentors and coaches to take me from an amateur level, and the hierarchy went. The next show was, I finally got a placing. I got 3rd. And the next show, I finally got a placing, and it was 2nd. And smoke was coming out my ears and said, what do I got to do to get 1st place?
Yeah.
And 1 year to the date, 1 year exactly from my first show, I stepped on stage, I won the competition, and I won the overall trophy, which was winning the entire category and the entire show 1 year later.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Crystal, I think what's remarkable about that was when you did your first show, you started celebrating just the fact that you were doing it.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of people, if they don't place and they don't see that immediate gratification, all of a sudden they have this thought in their head that they failed and they associate pain to it and they don't want to do it anymore. And what I've seen through a lot of people wanting to work out and start getting in the gym is when they start feeling sore and they're not really seeing results into their bodies, they end up just quitting. And I think I saw statistics, something like only 8% of people actually follow through on their New Year's resolution to lose weight.
Yeah, no, you just touched on a huge point, Francis. Part of the reason I like to coach and mentor people, whether it be for a competition or body transformation or lifestyle transformation, I ask some very specific questions. We've been taught, through mentors to qualify people for our time. And I do a qualifying interview, and that's exactly the point. I ask, what is your objective if you're going to step on this stage, or your objective for your body transformation if you want to release 20 pounds? And I let them know that it's very important to understand the mindset and to celebrate the journey, and that if the journey is not fun, then it's probably not worth it. If they're, and that's something that I feel like I can contribute to people, that I'm their cheerleader. And I say, we're going to have fun doing this. And there's going to be times that it's going to be challenging, but I promise you it's going to be worth it, whether you go home with a trophy or not. So it's important for me to emphasize that with people, because I have tons of trophies. I have hardware, but it's not that gets me excited looking at the trophies. It's the memories and the journey that I've I've had for every single one of the shows I've done. I've competed in over 17 shows in 10 years. And every single one of them, I could speak to you about the journey and the process and the ups and downs. And there's been a few. I had traveled to an event and the plane couldn't get to the destination. We were snowed in. I never made it to an event. I had to turn around and come back home and not compete in an event because of travel.
Oh, no. What was your mindset when that was going on?
I was just praying and I was hoping and I was sitting in the airport and I thought, no, it's going to come. It's going to come. It's going to come. Even if I slide into home base at last minute for the show, I can pull myself together and I can be ready. I hung out at the airport until they finally said, there is no other flights out.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it there. Even after I had recruited all of the resources, driving was not an option. There was all these things. And so I got on the plane to come back home.
Yeah.
And I cried for a moment. I cried and I picked myself back up and said, okay, cool. What is the lesson for me to learn here? What can I take away from this experience? And what I want to share with you is that was before I won that first show. I came home 1 week later. I enrolled in a local competition, and that's the show that I won.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. So the mindset was just shifting gears and just saying, okay, what's going to show up next?
And it's all part of the learning process.
Yes.
I feel like it's sort of like me doing this YouTube channel and I'm literally staring at a blank screen because I can't find, I'm not even looking at I'm just looking at a blank screen. But
you're doing awesome because I'm looking at you and you know what, you inspire me, Francis, that you have stepped out and asked, you've interviewed several people so far and I'm very excited for you. And, it's just awesome. It's an engagement and it's a relationship and it's a community. And, that's really what I'm all about, like I know we're breaking down the nuts and bolts of what I've done, and there can definitely be a part 2 of this if we want to talk about. There's so many components, my journey as a competitor, my journey as an entrepreneur, my journey as, there's so many different things that we could speak to. But the most important thing is the relationship we have with our community and that we're all contributing to each other's successes. And there might be people that don't know that I, didn't place in my first show. And I coach a lot of girls for shows and I let them know, you might not place in your first show. And what's your mindset going to be about that? And what are you going to do if you do want to go professional? How much time are you willing to put in and the sacrifice you're willing to make that happen and still be living a life and producing and, all those kinds of things.
Yeah, and I can say it's the same thing that goes to an entrepreneur, just because an entrepreneur who's looking to start a business, I mean, there's nothing guaranteed. It's like me getting started in real estate, about to move to Philadelphia. There's no benefits. There's no base pay. So it's literally, I just have to produce to get compensated. And I like all the upside and I like the risk. And that I feel like that relates to fitness and where you're not guaranteed first, second, or third.
No. And there's something you said about the workouts, and I just want to speak to that really quickly of people going to the gym and not seeing results. I want to share something in a sense that's very personal with the amount of years I've worked out, which has been over 25, the foundation for that my exercise regimen is non-negotiable. It's like brushing my teeth every day. And there was never a time, Francis, that I went to the gym and did a workout and said, today, this workout is going to be the one that makes all the difference. Never once. What I did was I went to the gym with this idea, as we have all learned, that there's a compound effect. Plant the seed and reap the harvest later. 10 years ago, I didn't know in the sense of what it was going to produce now. But I trusted the process and I understood that law. I understood, and it's just each time just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And 10 years goes by like that. But not one workout is the one that made the difference. It was every single workout. It was every single day getting up and being the queen of repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. No pun intended with working out. Repetition, right? Let's flex. I'm flexing, Francis. I know you can't see it. The audience can see it. It's awesome. They're laughing. They're smiling. It's great engagement. It's perfect.
I'm going to watch the replay.
You got it. I'm flexing again for you with the Team Isagenix shirt on.
There we go. So Crystal, what's your mindset like on the days where you just don't feel like working out and you go anyways?
I just laughed. You know what? I do have days that I don't feel like it, and I go anyways. Anyway. I feel after the years of experience that I have, I am very in tune with my body. If my body requires a rest day, which I do have built-in rest days, but if it requires a rest day that's maybe off schedule, I'll honor that and I pick right back up and I just keep, doing it. So I go anyways. And not every workout is going to be a killer workout. I let my clients know that. Walking over the threshold to get to a gym, or if it's in your spare bedroom, or if it's in your basement, whatever that action step is physically in your body to get where you need to be, that's where you start and you say, that's success. I'm here and I'm going to do something. You're going to move in your body. Truth be told, the way I coach some of my clients, if all they got in that day was a 10 or 15 minute quick workout, then we're going to check the box and say, you know what, you did something today. Tomorrow, we're going to go back, and tomorrow might be just a killer, insane workout, but it's the compound effect of doing it over and over again over a long haul.
That's awesome. I mean, I'm definitely going to implement that with my workout goals. I mean, I set a goal, and I've been going 4 to 6 times a week since the new year. So
I love it. And don't ever stop, don't ever stop. The training never stops, Francis. The training never stops. Are you going to ever stop brushing your teeth?
Never.
Okay, cool. Look at it like that. Do you see how simple that analogy is?
Yeah. So simple.
Perfect.
So what would you, just the last piece of advice, what piece of advice would you give to someone who just started working out? They've been obese for the last 10 years and they're really committed this year to getting after their goals. What would be that one breakthrough that would really assist them to go out and get their goal this year?
I could write an amazing workout for someone, an amazing nutrition plan for someone, and until someone really decides in themselves that they're ready for change. So we're going to use this example as this person has made a definitive decision and they're going to be in action no matter what, okay? If I'm working with this individual, I'm going to be their cheerleader and I'm going to be there to encourage them, and I'm going to remind them that it's not that one workout that makes the difference. It's that one workout multiplied and done 365 days a year, or whatever it may be. It's the compound effect. I'm going to remind them that. And I'm also going to speak to them, with their mindset and their heart. I'm going to tap into, why is this important for you? And it's perfect timing. You're asking me this. I actually just interviewed someone in a conversation about this yesterday. And for him, it was for his kids. That was his why. And that's why he made this change for his health, to be there for his kids. And it was like a switch that just flipped in him, So for someone that's obese, leave the past in the past and say, that's where I was. That's not who I am. Today, this is who I am. I've made this decision. I'm moving forward here. Fast forward, what would 1 year look like? What would 5 years look like? What would 10, 25? And start to see that it becomes ingrained and really embrace it. And something I said on an interview with Adam Scheck, and I know he commented on here, and I said, your body might not love exercise. Your body might not, you might not love exercise, okay? But your body will. You might not feel like it. You might not want to do it, and you might not see the instant gratification and the value, but your body will see it and feel it, and it will appreciate it. Your cells will do what they're designed to do if you just get your body in motion. We are not designed to sit.
Why would that be?
We're not designed to sit all day. We're not designed to sit. We're designed to be in motion. Our bodies are designed to work in multiple planes of motion, forward and backwards, side to side. We're designed to bend. I just went to yoga today. Our bodies are designed to be in motion. Think of it, if someone was just to sit in a chair and never get up, it's really hard to, but if someone was to sit in a chair, gravity is going to pull you down, and you're not using your extremities if you're sitting in a chair. Your body's designed to be in motion.
Got it. Crystal, what's one last piece of advice you'd want to give out to all the viewers who are looking to chase after their dream, their goal, achieve the same thing as you? Just the most important thing that comes to your mind right now.
You know, follow your heart. It took me many years to, you know, leave my corporate job, take that leap of faith and trust and believe. But again, I pull myself back that my core is that I want to serve others by sharing my passion for health and fitness and utilizing my skills, my experience, and my knowledge, and offer that to them and to build them up and have that they can have the application of that knowledge. And so whatever facet, whatever industry they're in, I don't care, construction, they're a dental hygienist, whatever they're doing, if it's what lights them up, then keep doing that. But see that through your work, if you call it work, that you're adding value to someone else, and they might share that with someone else. So don't ever let your dreams, you know, get, you know, pushed down. I didn't compete till I was in my 30s. You know, I was competing on a platform that people were much younger than me, and that's just competition. But being an entrepreneur, you're going to work hard. And when you go to the gym, it's going to be hard when you first start going if you're not conditioned and you're not used to doing it. But, you know, a hill goes up, and then you can kind of come down, and then you can climb a higher one, and you're stronger. So there's always a frequency in life. There's going to be frequency.
Yep. And I mean, I love the philosophy that you have, just because it really goes hand in hand with this channel of just really inspiring people to create their best life. And I feel like this content was amazing. Crystal, thanks so much for getting on this call.
Thank you so much, Francis. Again, I appreciate it, and you inspire me. And yeah, that one last piece, I just want to say, you know, I think God put us all with a passion, and he gave us all a gift, and it would be a shame if people don't use their gift. So whatever your gift is and whatever you feel called to do, then do that. And you will truly thrive in life. You will be blessed. You will bless others. And that just came to me, and it's like, that's it. That's it. We're all given a gift, and use it.
Yep, just go out, pursue your passion, and the biggest thing, make the decision and then make it happen, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Crystal, I'll catch you later.
Awesome.
Thanks everyone for watching, and I guess I'm going to go shut down this computer. And hopefully
awesome, Francis. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you guys all soon.
Bye.
Bye.